Hello, good people. So let's talk about soil blocks and why you should seriously consider using them. So, soil blocking is a way to germinate and grow a plant instead of using cell trays or those little mini pots like you have in the big box stores. And the reason why you would choose a soil block over that is because the plant does not get root bound. And so when a plant gets root bound, it can hinder the current and future growth of the plant. So if you plant a plant that's root bound or attempt to, it can either lead to the untimely demise of the plant, or it can impact the future growth of the plant where it doesn't grow as large, as fast, or bear as many fruit because it was essentially stunted from the beginning. So soil blocking allows you to plant the plant without stressing the plant out so much and just providing the most optimal circumstances for it to grow healthy and strong. Okay, so let's get into the process of making a soil block. So the base of the soil block is pretty simple. You will use worm castings. These right here I've used in the past. They work very good. I think I ordered them from Amazon. The thing with the worm castings is they add a bunch of nutrients that the plant, whether it be a seedling or as it gets older, the plant can use. It comes from earthworms. And so I think most of us know earthworms are really good for the garden because they help aerate the soil, and the castings they leave behind contain a lot of nutrients. So here we have the nutrients that the earthworms leave behind. The other ingredient that we would use is going to be perlite. And so that helps aerate the soil. You can either use perlite, or some people use something called vermiculite. And they both do the same thing, where they basically add aeration to the soil, which lets the soil breathe basically. So the roots, it loosens up the soil, keeps it nice and fluffy, so the roots can grow through it more easy, and keeps the soil from getting compacted. I do keep saying soil, but in soil blocking, I know it kind of sounds weird. We're not going to actually use soil for the soil blocking. We are going to use coconut coir. So this looks probably like a chunk of cardboard, but what it is, it's the leftover coconut shells and like the brown parts of the coconut when they process it. And so they dry it and then they compress it until it's in blocks like this. You can also order this from Amazon, which is where I think I got this from. So yeah, so these are going to be the three main components of the soil blocks. Now, if you want to, you could also add some additional nutrients to it as you see fit. There are a plethora of different things that you can add to it. All right, so first part of the process for making this is going to be mixing the ingredients together. So I'm using a plastic container that you can get from just about anywhere. I think I probably bought this one from Home Depot, pretty inexpensive. And once we get the mixture put together, I'm going to, once we get the coconut coir hydrated, which I'll show you that in a moment, I'm going to mix all the ingredients together in this pot. Also pretty inexpensive. It's fairly thick plastic. I think I ordered this from Amazon. So I'll mix everything in this pot and I'll block it up in the pot. Okay, so let me show you. Actually, we're going to use two of those squares. So I'm just gonna wet it once and flip it over. Wet on this side. And so these containers have little indentions on the bottom where the water tends to gather. So we'll move the blocks around on those edges so it can absorb it. And you can see, oops, sorry about that. You can see that it absorbs pretty rapidly, pretty quickly. It makes something that resembles dirt. But the thing about the coconut coir is that it's pretty sterile, doesn't have a lot of bad pathogens or microbes in it, so be more beneficial for your plants to grow in. But yeah, it hydrates pretty quickly. It becomes very breakable. Okay, so I got the coconut coir rehydrated. And so you can see here, this is about the consistency that you want it to have. Also, before, I failed to mention another reason why you want the coconut coir versus say like soil. It retains a lot of moisture, better for the plants too. Like when I squeeze it here, you can see the water drain back out of it. So it holds a good amount of moisture for the plants, which is very beneficial for them when they start off. Also, it helps you out a bit too, because you don't have to worry about watering so much. If you forget a day or so, it'll be a lot less impactful. All right, so let's mix the other two parts. Okay, so the base for this recipe for a soil block, a base soil block, is going to be 3 parts of these worm castings, and then 2 parts perlite or vermiculite, whichever one that you have, and then 2 parts of the coconut coir. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so these are my worm castings. They're a little dry. They sit in storage for a while, but all you really have to do is when they hit water, they should be able to be easily broken up again. So again, we're going to do 2 parts of the worm castings. So we got 2 parts there. Then we're going to do 3 parts of the coconut coir. So this 1. 2. Probably helpful to use a little bit heavier duty of a plastic cup, but this is what I got, so this is what I'm using. So that's 3. Then I'm going to use 2 parts of the perlite. So that's 1. And you can tell it's not, chemistry, complete exact science. All right, so we got that together. And final step is going to be to mix it around a bit, like so. And then you're going to want to add water as needed, especially if you're like me and you got old worm castings that are kind of clumped together, gotten very hard, the water should help you break it up. Okay, so we got everything mixed up. And so this is the consistency you want to look for. So it'll kind of hold its shape. So that's what you want to look for. Okay, all right, let's block it up. And in case I forgot to mention, we're going to be using the same trays as we've been using before, very common trays. And I'm going to be using the larger sole blocker that I have. Now, they do sell a very large, like single unit. This is technically like the medium size, but this is the one that we are going to use. All right. So we're going to press this down to the bottom. And kind of tilt it up like so. All right, then we're gonna bring it over to our tray. Start it off in the edge. And you just press down and pull the trigger. Comes up. There we have it. Fresh 4 soil blocks. Ready to put seeds right there in the middle.